Okay, we are going to take the quiz over. Chapter 8, integers. What do you remember from integers? What are some things going to be on the quiz to help us remember before we take it? Will? Good. It is the positive whole numbers, their opposites, so negative whole numbers, and including 0. Good? Okay, what else do we need to know? Chris?
If it's on the left side, it's negative, and if it's on the right, it's positive.
Good. So to the left of 0 is negative, to the right of 0 is positive. What else? Colin?
The farther right on the number line the number is, the higher value.
Good. The farther right you are on the number line, the larger the number. So when comparing numbers, if it's to the right, it's going to be larger. Okay, what else is going to be on there? Will? Coordinates. Good. So you have a coordinate plane. This horizontal line, Chris, Colin, Coach Provost, we're paying attention. This horizontal line is called the, this is the x-axis. The vertical line is the y-axis. When you are writing ordered pairs or when you're plotting them, what always goes first? Colin?
Your x-axis.
Good. The x goes first, then it's the y. Always. So x, comma, y. This area right here is called, good, this is quadrant 1. What type of numbers are in quadrant 1? Will? Positive, positive. Quadrant 2. What type of numbers? Colin?
Negative, positive.
Negative, positive. Lucas, what quadrant is this? Quadrant 3. What type of numbers, Will? Negative, negative. Quadrant, all together?
3.
4. We have positive, negative numbers. That is going to be helpful. We also have absolute value on the quiz. If I give you this, what's the absolute value of 3? Skylar? It is 3. It's the distance from 0. What if I give you one like this? The opposite of the absolute value of negative 5. Chris? Good, it's negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is 5. The opposite of 5 is negative 5. Good with that? Alright, reflections. Go ahead and sing with me in 3, 2, 1. Reflect across the x. The x stays the same. Reflect across the y. The y stays the same. Reflect across the x. The x stays the same. Reflect across the y. The y stays the same. Okay? And the other number changes to its opposite. Changes to its opposite. Last thing. If we're finding the distance between 2 points and they are in the same quadrant, the same quadrant, what operation? Will? Good. Subtract. If we are in different quadrants, we are going to, Skylar, add. Okay? Then you're going to look at your x comma y, x comma y. If the y's are the same, you cross them out, you look at just your x's. Anyone does this? Maybe?
Yeah.
It's like a little laugh.
Yeah, we're singing our song.
You are. What is the song?
Alright, so finding distance. Then we're looking at our x's. They're different. So then we do the absolute value. We're going to either add them or subtract them. Good? Okay, so you have the paper copy of the text. Our quiz. What I'd like you to do is solve each question on the paper copy. When you are done solving them, you are going to open up GradeCam and put your answers into GradeCam. A couple of things to look at. Question number 18. Go ahead and look at question number 18. There are a couple of duplicate answers. If you choose one of those duplicated answers, you have options here. You can just put in one of them. You can put in the other one, or you can put both of them in. Whichever one you do, if that's the correct answer, you'll get it right. Does that make sense? So just select one of them or select both of them. That is, I think, all I need to tell you. Number 19, please make sure that you spell it correctly. Otherwise, you will get it wrong. So just as it's written in the problem. From least to greatest. Least to greatest. If you have negative numbers, we have -8. Then it goes -3. No commas, no space. Make sure you include the negative sign. 2, 5. And we just write it as it is with no commas, no spaces. So online learners, you can go ahead and take your quiz now and then come back and we're doing something new. Okay, is ready?
Yeah.
All right, we are going to convert fractions to decimals and decimals into fractions. We're first going to start with a decimal, and we are going to convert it into a fraction. If you can just read decimals, this is going to make it really easy. Okay? So how do you read this number? Column.
0 and 5 ones.
0 and 5 tenths. So 0 and 5 tenths. What do you think that is as a fraction? 0 and 5 tenths. Will? Good. It is 5 tenths. Your number in a decimal is always going to be your numerator. The place value you are in will always be your denominator. And so looking at this, we have this one right here is called the what place value? Colin.
Tens.
This is the tens. So as a fraction, it will always be over 10. If the number stops here, what's this place value called? Skylar? It's the hundredth. So it will be over 100. So if it stops there. And if it stops here, what's this place value called? Well, this is the thousand, so it'll be over 1,000. This place value is the, Chris?
100,000?
Not 100,000. There's another one before that.
Oh. The 10,000?
10,000. So this would be over 10,000. This is the 100,000. And it would be up 1 on top. So you read this 100,000. The number that you read goes on top. The place value that you're in goes on the bottom. Make sense?
Yes.
So if you can just read the numbers, it's really helpful. All right, so let's go ahead and do some examples. Let's try 0 and 43. Okay. On your paper, go ahead and write these 3 decimals, and then convert them into fractions. How do we read? Number 1. Chris.
The decimal or the fraction?
The decimal. How would we read that?
0 and 43.
Good. 0 and 4,300. So what is the fraction? Will? 43 over 100. Perfect. 43 is the number. That becomes your numerator. It's in the hundredths place value. That becomes your denominator. Number 2, Colin.
0 and 721,000.
Good. 0 and 721,000. What is the fraction, Skylar? 1,000. The number you read becomes numerator. It's in the thousandth spot. Becomes the denominator. All right, the last one. Will. 0 and 3/10. So Lucas, the fraction is 3 over 10, right? Okay, you think you can handle that?
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay, changing decimals into fractions is not too difficult. Okay? All right, well, let's go ahead. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to change fractions into decimals. And I will tell you this, it is a little more challenging than changing decimals to fractions. All right, so let's start with 3/4. We want to convert this into a decimal. Some of you might know what this is as a decimal right away. Does anyone know? Will?
3 and 4.
No? 3, if you had 3 and 4/10, 3/4 is in between what two whole numbers?
1, 0, 1.
It's in between 0 and 1. Is this in between 0 and 1? No. Okay. I wish it was this easy. It is not. Okay. If you take away one thing from today, and that's it, please take away this. Fractions are just division problems. Okay? That's all a fraction is. It's a division problem. This is 3 divided by 4. So writing 3 divided by 4 now to the long division. Building our house. What number goes on the inside? Colin?
4.
Not 4. It's 3. We do everything backwards here in the United States. Okay? We have to confuse ourselves. There's other people who put them separately, but the first number is your dividend. It goes on the inside. The second number is your divisor. It's on your outside. It's kind of confusing. Okay? Another way people teach this is they build their house like that, and then you fall backwards. So it's 4, 3 divided by 4.
That's smart.
Okay? Good? Setting it up. We'll do some practice ones, but now let's actually go ahead and solve it. What do we know is going to be true about our answer? Chris already helped us a little bit. We know it's in between 0 and 1. So our first one, 4 goes into 3. 4 is not going to go into 3, so we put a 0. Okay, what are we going to do down here then? Will?
Add a decimal point
Decimal point and a 0. Nice job. How many times does 4 now go into 30? Chris?
6 times. Wait, no. Oh, 7 times.
7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. We subtract. We get 2. We're not doing remainders, so we have to add another 0. Bring it down. 4 goes into 20. Skylar? 5 times. What do we do with our decimal point? It goes
Up.
straight up. 3/4 is equal to 0 and 75/100. 0 and 75/100 is in between 0 and 1. Think about, you have 3 out of 4 quarters. You have 3 quarters. You have 75 cents. All right, let's try. I want you to try one on your own now. You think you can try one on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. Try 2/5. Change that into a decimal. So 2/5 is what? Chris?
0.4
Okay, not what I was looking for, not the answer. What I was looking for is 2/5 division problem is 2 divided by 5. Okay, setting that problem up. Long division. Remember, you can build your house and your tube falls down. 5 on the outside, 2 on the inside. Does 5 go into 2? No, 0. Add decimal point 0 down here. 5 goes into 20. 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. 0. Bring your decimal point straight up. Did y'all get 0 and 4 tenths? Good, yes. Okay. Alright, you think you can handle that?